This is a review video for the paper Bioprocess Microfluidics Applying Microfluidic Devices for Bioprocessing by Marco P.C. Marquez and Nicholas Zita, published in Current Opinions in Chemical Engineering. This video review is being performed by 19 BBT 1 Sthiti Pragya, 19 BBT 2 Manas, 19 BBT 4 Sania, and 19 BBT 8 Shambhavi.
Background of the work. Microfluidic devices are being used increasingly for process intensification in biotechnology. These microfluidic devices serve as a suitable solution for scale-up problems too. They have many advantages brought by the enhanced heat and mass transfer, flexibility, ease of operation under controlled hydrodynamic conditions, and low requirements of reagents. Further developments expected in this field can prove to be very beneficial in various fields of bioprocesses and downstream processing.
The major challenge in bioprocessing is to gain a comprehensive understanding of the bioprocesses to enable their rapid and successful development and execution. This requires obtaining data that is relevant for the production scale with minimum amount of labor and at minimum cost. Furthermore, the process variables, for example pH, oxygen, cell density, physiological and metabolic data, and also data regarding production is needed to be acquired. At the production scale, all process information is available, but associated cost to perform process development is restrictive. It is roughly calculated that over 10,000 experiments are required for a single bioprocess development project, from primary strain screening to pilot scale trials. The key experiments are typically performed with bench scale bioreactors. Though resulting in reliable and information rich data, this is still an expensive and labor intensive attempt, and the number of experiments that can be carried out simultaneously are therefore constrained. Miniaturized bioreactors are used as an alternative to bench scale bioreactors in order to reduce the cost and time involved in process development. In addition, they enable automation of optimization process with feasible laboratory robotic platform, minimizing the tedious manual work while increasing the output. Although the influence of operational and biochemical parameters on process yields can be obtained, the significance of the data obtained for larger scale is restricted. Microfluidic devices with characteristic dimensions from sub-milliliters to sub-microliters, and in which small amounts of fluids, that is 10 to the power minus 9 and 10 to the power minus 18 liter, are manipulated, have emerged as an enabling tool for high production applications. Adherent cell culture devices. Microfluidic tools have been utilized in past several years to study the cellular microenvironments of stem cells in a reproducible and adjustable pattern. The fine spatiotemporal have a grip over the cellular microenvironment, which enables controlled delivery of nutrients and different soluble biochemical factors, washout of auto and paracrine signaling factors, and the control over the forces exerted on the cells. For example, level of hydrodynamic shear stress. A unique quantitative data can be achieved if these approaches are blended with automation, for example using image processing routines with live cell imaging. The knowledge of cellular response, these online methods can be complemented with offline or at-line methods, either practicing a sacrificial approach, that is harvesting the entire content of a culture chamber, or by coupling the effluent stream of the micro CCD with the analytical equipment individually. Non-invasive methods avoid this trade-off, and real-time quantification of cellular responses such as cell proliferation, oxygen kinetics have been effectively achieved from tiny amounts of cell culture medium and a small population of cells. Cell reprogramming under perfusion condition have been reported so far. Despite advances in transfection workflows and demonstrated advantages of perfusion cultures such as increased proliferation rates and better identification of reprogramming enhancing extrinsic factors have not been reported. The spatiotemporal control over signaling gradients afforded by perfusion facilities the transition from 2D to 3D cell culture, obtaining better biometric tissue and organ models with increased physiological significance. Standardization of micro CCD and its component will allow the execution of good cell culture practices and integration with automated workflows enabled by liquid handling robots. A basic comparison of results between 2D cell monolayer models and 3D cultures and the control mechanism for 3D cultures are very essential to implement these systems for cell therapies.
Microfluidic devices have been applied successfully in relevant reaction systems, supporting the validity of a microfluidic approach of biocatalysis. These devices offer possibility to rapidly and in high throughput manner evaluate different reaction conditions and different enzyme variants, improve reaction stability, enable continuous processing, and in multi-phase systems intensify the process. Multi-step syntheses, such as cascades of chemoenzymatic or enzyme-enzyme reactions, can benefit from microfluidic reactors. The spatial confinement of reactions into separate microreactors allows each reaction to be performed under the best possible conditions, as opposed to one-pot reactions where compromises between the individual reactions must be sought. Conversion yields can be potentially increased with the optimization of chemical reaction step or with the aid of reactor engineering, including the integration of in situ product removal, that is, ISPR strategies. The modular approach to couple enzymatic reactions will pave the way to perform in vitro biosynthetic reactions in flow. From an operational point of view, cost can be reduced and biocatalyst productivity increased with the recirculation or immobilization of the enzymes in the bioreactors. This will additionally improve the enzyme stability and avoid unwanted side reactions in cascade reactors. The data obtained can be enhanced with the integration of sensor technology. This will provide real time information on reaction progression, including reaction conditions such as pH, temperature, oxygen, reaction parameters such as substrate and product concentrations, and operational conditions such as flow rates, pressures, etc.
Microbioreactors for process screening has been possible due to advancements in polymer microfabrication and sensor miniaturization. Despite the low rate of delivery, they could control the microenvironment and batch, fed batch, and continuous batch culture operations. Polymers possess the properties of gas permeability of polydimethyl siloxane and high optical transparency that allows proper aeration of the system and facilitates integration of optical detection methods respectively. Structurally, microbioreactors are planar and horizontal and have various mixing mechanisms, for example, by spin bars or periplastic motion of the chamber ceiling. In an experiment by Krull, air bubbles in microreactors helped with mixing and also caused an increase in the overall mass transfer coefficient. Optical sensors are an important component of microbioreactors. They can be easily integrated into the system and can measure small volumes without interfering with the cellular machinery. They measure pH, oxygen, and carbon dioxide levels and the amount of analyte present in the reactor. Specific oxygen uptake rate is also determined to highlight the cellular processes. New technology needs to be applied to study nutrient consumption and product formation. Online monitoring is done via fluorescence based sensors, surface resonance, or spectrometric methods like Raman spectra. The standard offline equipment like HPLC and flow cytometry can also be employed. Sampling ports are not the best choice due to low operational volume of a microbioreactor as well as the increased risk of contamination. Standardization of device components is of utmost importance to facilitate analytical solutions like chromatography and mass spectrometry.
Some opportunities ahead of these microbioreactors are development of scale up trains for cellular therapies, more comprehensive monitoring of all process variables, sufficient sample volume for quality control, and integration of downstream processing, device standardization and development of sensitive sensor technology, automation to remove operator induced variability, reducing the dependency of end users on individual device manufacturers, improving product quality consistency, multiplex devices and operations, exploiting the design advantages of the microfluidic devices and combine these with sensor technology, and scale translation of downstream processing units.
So, from this, we conclude that Reducing of approaches have been applied in bioprocessing to resolve increasing problems. Miniaturized bioreactors have thrived as a tool to obtain process relevant data during early stage of process development. Microfluidic tools are an appealing alternative in bioprocessing development due to the high degree of control over process variables provided by the laminar flow and the possibility to reduce time and cost factors. Data quality obtained with these devices is high when integrated with sensing technology and is invaluable for scale translation and to assess the economic viability of bioprocesses. In this review, we gave an overview on how microfluidic devices have been employed as the tool for process development and what challenges were faced till now. In particular, we discuss and focus on how these devices can be applied to process development for the production of small molecules, therapeutic proteins, and cells and discuss their functionalities based on these ideas.
Inference. The author believes that microfluidics can play a major role in bioprocess intensification and enhance the overall performance with its integration in various fields. It has many applications as process development tools and can have a significant impact in reducing development time and costs of full scale processes. They could also potentially play a role for more stratified and more personalized therapies.
The research article has been presented very systematically with proper division of subtopics. The paper has mentioned the advantages and uses of microfluidic devices in the field of bioprocess, while a few disadvantages need to be mentioned for better understanding and further development. A more detailed description about microbioreactor layout would help in understanding the concept better. Thank you.